Hi, I'm Drew, a drag queen living in LA with my husband Curtis, my dog JB, and some jewelry from an MLM. Ooh, what?
I'm Grant, and I live in Florida with my wife and 4 children. I'm a former pastor, but I'm currently starting an MLM since we're talking about it. And in fact, that is what we talk about for half the show is MLMs
Yeah,
and evangelicalism and how they all
and
fit
Jesus.
together and how Jesus wants you to be a part of DazzleSnap.
And speaking of Jesus and MLM,
Interesting.
I'm we also talk about something not at all related to either of those subjects, the Big Lebowski. Oh, wait, it does have Jesus in it. Never mind, I forgot. It
The
does have the
Jesus.
Jesus. It
That's
has the
right.
Jesus.
That's
I
right.
finally saw Big Lebowski, and I tell Grant whether or not I liked it. Ooh, stay
I
tuned.
can't wait for you to see The Lion King. There's so many movies you haven't seen yet. All right, everybody. See you in a little bit.
Enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Drew, and I'm gay.
And I'm Grant, and I'm not. Drew,
Oh no. Yeah.
I like for us to start every podcast with sincere apologies.
Okay.
And I think that this week we owe our sincerest apologies to everyone's favorite American Taskmaster guest,
Oh, Jason Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas. Did you watch this past
Killing
week's
it,
episode
apparently. I
after
did.
we
I did. I
we were
did.
critical of him?
I did.
He's
And
the
he
heart and
killed it.
soul of season
And he
19.
killed it.
The heart and soul of season 19.
Well, yeah.
The heart and soul.
He's a pretty big deal.
He
and
was so
I learned from the
good.
comments, that he did the show because he's such a big fan of the show. He contacted them and was like, "Can I please be on it?" Which
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense. But you know what? I was thinking about that because yes, I too saw the comments. I was like, "Oh, maybe we were wrong," but no, we weren't wrong. It was.
It
The
took a
first
minute.
couple episodes were, it was a little, we are
It took
such
a
big
minute.
fans of his. We
Huge.
wanted him to succeed. We did
More
not
than
want
anything.
him to not succeed.
More than my
And
own
so I
children
think,
succeeding, I want to see Jason succeed in
I think
Taskmaster.
us kind of trying to understand
would
what's
kill them.
happening in these first couple episodes is really important for the culture and such as.
I think it undercuts our apology a little bit, but I appreciate you justifying our stance.
Because I'm not gonna, you know what, I'm not gonna apologize for that. I'm not
Oh,
gonna do that.
okay.
I'm not going to do that because we were responding to what we had seen thus far.
And at that point, we were right. But Jason, at this point now, we recognize that we're wrong. Thank
Yeah,
you for
we were
being a
very wrong.
patron supporter.
Thank you so
That's
much for
so
being a
cool.
patron,
Thank you
Jason.
so
That's
much.
so sweet. Thank you so much.
Also, about Jason, I did watch the appearance of Greg and Little Alex Horn on Seth Meyers, where they shared the news, as you just said, that Jason actually reached out to them about being on the show, and they were thrilled to have him, which I think is like really sweet of him. But one of the things I noticed about our boy Jason, have you noticed he wears the same clothes?
Yeah, that's his thing.
But have you noticed that he does that everywhere he goes, always, everywhere in public, everywhere, always?
Yeah, it's like a well-known thing about him.
I didn't know that. So it was like episode, what was this, episode 4, his most recent? He's wearing a white button-down and jeans with his boat shoes, like boots or whatever. And I was like, wait a second, why hasn't he changed? And then looking him up
They're different clothes, technically.
on the YouTubes, anytime he's doing improv or whatever, he's wearing a white button-down with jeans. He's Doug Funny.
Yeah.
He Doug Funny
Yeah,
did.
he's Doug Funny. Yeah, he did. He did. And you know what? I think it
Unreal.
works for him. I think it's a
It's a
really
good
bizarre.
look.
It's a good look. I think it's a really bizarre, funny quirk. So I think it's kind of fun that he's created his own cartoon costume. If you had to have a cartoon costume, what would it be? If you wore one thing every day?
Can I tell you that
no.
I mentioned Doug
A
Funny?
white shirt and jeans.
I mentioned Doug Funny because that was the first cartoon character that made me think, oh man, if I had to wear, well, no, Skeeter did that. If I had to wear one thing for the rest of my life, what would it be? It was Doug Funny. Like, Doug Funny was what got that in my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was the first one. I don't know why, but for that clicked for me for some reason. And I was like, Doug
There
always
was
wears the
something
same thing.
really chic at that moment in time about wearing a white t-shirt and a
Sweater vest. Sweater vest.
I mean, I do it now. It's come back. Listen, Doug Funny is timeless. Did you know that Skeeter was black?
Yeah, pretty cool. And you really
How,
couldn't
how are
tell
we supposed to know that?
his dick. Yes,
Oh,
Skeeter
wait.
was purple.
AI is saying he's not. Google AI is saying he's not. But the creator of Doug, what?
Is the creator
Oh,
J.K.
he
Rowling?
says it was not the. No, if it was J.K.
No,
Rowling,
that
he'd be
one's
Skeeter
black,
Black.
and he's
It
born a
was not the
man.
intention. It was
'Cause
not
he
the
is a
intention of the
man.
show's writer or producers to make Skeeter black. It's just how people perceived him. That's good.
I love Skeeter.
That's really good.
Patty Mayonnaise, hot. That little mini skirt she always wore. What's up,
So
Patty?
hot.
So Doug was the first. Like I was like, I'd wear that. I'd have a white T-shirt. I'd have the sweater vest on. That was like the first time I thought like I could wear that every day because it was hip. It was chic. It was in.
I could do cartoon every day.
Also, when you think about Doug, if I were to say to you, banging on a trash can.
Yes. Yes. Hang on.
Banging on a trash can.
Banging on a trash can. It's guitars next, right?
Beating on a.
Cock.
Oh my God, Drew.
Cock.
Banging on a trash can. Beating on a street light.
Street light. Oh, yeah.
Some little voices calling me, calling me. Some little voices calling me.
Wow, I haven't thought about that in forever. You know what's such a bummer is that Doug was revived with Disney Saturday mornings.
Yes.
And it just changed his whole
They
vibe.
lengthened his shirt.
And when Gen Z discusses Doug, they're discussing that Doug, not our Doug. And that's
You know
or
what I
younger
call-
millennials, I should say.
Can I tell you what I call that Doug? I don't know if I've ever even talked about it. The new Doug, I call him the Dillsburg
Communist.
Doug.
Dillsburg. Fuck you, Dillsburg Doug.
Fuck you, Dillsburg. Hey, Dillsburg, are you still listening? I haven't looked in a minute. Dillsburg, are you still around?
It's probably best that we don't know. Because
Fuck
then
you,
if we
Dillsburg.
confirm that Dillsburg is still listening, I think we'll both have a concern that we've gone too far. And I don't want that. I don't want that on.
either. So I wanted to also tell you other news. We were wrong about Manzukis, and I wanted to clear the air because I wasn't a believer in karma, but we had a conversation about our father
Who art in heaven.
who got so constipated. He got so much poo poo in his belly
Oh, it hit you, didn't it?
that he fell down naked and
And shit.
shit everywhere.
Called an ambulance.
I've been sick for the past few days. And
Karma's a bitch. You should have known better.
I don't want to brag. You know this.
I
I hate
wanna
bragging.
brag.
There's so many things I love. There's so many things I hate. I hate bragging. Fairly certain I probably have diverticulitis because it's genetic and both of our parents have it. And I have all
What
the
is
symptoms.
that?
So you have these little pockets in your colon that when you have like a flare up, basically these pockets trap food in your colon and then it's incredibly painful and it becomes inflamed. That's why both of our parents have had parts of their colon surgically removed recently.
Gay.
I think I have the same thing.
Okay.
And so every now and then, basically it's like I can't eat leafy greens anymore because they're hard to digest and they'll
You
cause a flare up.
loved eating those. You
I love leafy
loved
greens.
Leafy greens.
Seeds, any type of like seeds, shit like
Can you
that.
get quinoa?
The two, no more quinoa. I think that's what was happening. I think I was having a little flare up, but I didn't know. And I was
Karma's
just
a
like, man, I'm
bitch.
kind of
You
feeling like
shoulda known
nauseous and
better.
whatever. And I was eating all the things I wasn't supposed to eat. I was leafy green and with
Leafy greens.
seeds,
So much greens.
just
I
leafy
know.
green.
You were
seeds.
seeding yourself. You had been seeded.
I woke up, it was like 2 a.m, and drew on a pain scale between 1 and 10. My upper abdomen was on fire. Like literally, if you put your hand on it, you could feel the heat coming off my stomach. I would say, it was my colon, I would say a 9 out of a 10. Like I was sweating, couldn't see straight.
My
The pain was
God.
so terrible. Yeah.
Wait, am I going to get that?
I hope not. So I go downstairs because I don't want to wake up Angela and get help because, man, I'm a man. So
Yeah, you don't need help from a woman.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have my own poop problems by myself. So I'll go downstairs for 45 minutes, Drew. I can't get relief. I have ice packs on my stomach, on my head, on my whatever. I have stripped down. I'm downstairs. I'm naked downstairs, just hoping my kids don't come downstairs. I'm covered in ice packs. I'm sweating. I'm just walking. And I can't lay down or sit down because it hurts. And there's no relief, but it doesn't hurt as bad to stand
Wait, you were
upright
naked walking around in your house?
holding ice packs all over me. I
What
was
if
like,
your kids had walked in?
I didn't care at that moment. Drew, 9 out of
I have
10
to
on
call
the pain
CPS.
scale.
I have to call
So
CPS.
I
One
was,
second.
as I'm walking around too, when you're in pain, you like make noises. So I'm just walking around like, ugh, like the
Yeah.
whole time for like 45 minutes. So there was a point where I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to either call 911 or I need to wake up Angela. We live right behind a hospital. I was like, I need to go to this is
Okay,
fucked
brag.
up. But before that, I was like, I just gotten to that point where I was like, something needs to come out of me. Like, I need to vomit or whatever. So I go sit on the toilet. Nothing's happening. And then I go, oh, my God. Is this what Dad went through? Am I dadding right now?
Yeah.
And Drew, can I tell
pass
you?
out?
Can I tell
Did
you?
you fall?
Can I tell you? I'm sitting there. I'm overheating. I'm in so much pain. I'm like overheating. I'm drenched in sweat, naked. I'm like, oh, that floor is made of tile. If I could just lay in the floor. So I lay in the I'm laid out on the floor, on this tile floor, butt naked, completely compacted in my colon, I'm assuming, in horrible pain, just sweating. And then I was like, if I shit myself, which I didn't, then I'm full-blown dad at this point, and I have to stop doing the podcast with Drew because he was right.
Well, we didn't say he was wrong
It got me.
about having that moment.
It got me, Drew. I was not great, and finally, I don't know, about minute 50
What's it called?
or so,
Diverticulitis? What's it called?
Diverticulitis. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. The thing is, if I avoid those trigger foods as much as possible, and when I have these flare-ups, I eat appropriately, and now I knew that was a flare-up after I almost died, so I've been eating like saltines and chicken broth or whatever.
Oh, skinny.
Then hopefully I won't have to have part of my colon removed like our parents did. So
Oh my God.
I woke up.
Here's
so
the thing. Not
the next
everyone needs
morning
to
I took a
reproduce.
pinch.
Like what you've done, what you've passed on to those kids, you don't love those
I didn't
kids.
know. I didn't know. I didn't
You
know I
don't
had
love
that.
them. You wouldn't have
I didn't know I
made
had
them.
that evil
You wouldn't
in
have
my
made them if
colon.
you loved them.
I didn't know I had that.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, so JoJo was right. Karma's a bitch.
You should have known better.
I should have known better, and it got me. And
Well,
so,
I'll have you know. Fine. Okay, let me jump on this.
yeah,
Let's talk about poop.
Did
I'll
you
have
get
you know.
sweaty and naked and lay on the floor
That is how I prefer to masturbate: sweaty, naked, and on the floor.
in pain.
I did have to take an Imodium today because I had too much coffee and I was pooping too easily. There was no pain. If anything, there was too much relief.
Interesting. Yeah, I went the other
Karma's a bitch. You're gonna shit yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, R.I.P. to your high horse. You
You
did have to put it down. Did you call Dad and tell him?
No, of course not.
Did you call Mom and tell her?
No, I'm assuming someone from this podcast will let Dad know. One of the listeners, I'm sure.
Will someone please email Nick and let him know? Thank you.
Also, I'd like to say to all the people who've left comments about finding me attractive, just imagine what I just told you. Imagine the story I told you. Sweaty.
And everyone who's leaving
laying on the
comments
tile.
about not finding me attractive, that it's not funny.
It's me. I created all those
completely...
accounts. It's me.
I get the joke. I get the joke. Like, can we cool it for a second?
Drew's
I gotta
real
be so
fucked up,
honest.
guys. He's real fucked up right now. He's trying to like joke about it, but like this is real. This is real. This is more real than what happened to me the other night. All right, this is Drew's naked on the tile right here.
The pain
Natalie
you felt in your colon, I'm feeling right now. No,
on the floor.
I'm having a hard time because like my psychiatrist moved like what do you call it? Practices.
Yeah.
And that practice no longer takes my insurance, and finding a psychiatrist is really hard. Like it's a pain in the ass, and I need new medication, but I'm also reaching the end of the medication I have now, and I'm just like, I know this is a story as old as time with the United
Truly.
States healthcare system, but it's just today as we're filming, right? Like I'm in this room with my friends. Like my friend Rachel is sitting next to me. My coworker Alexis is right next to me, and my friend Austin is across the table from me. And I feel like and everyone's laughing and we're having a good time, but like I'm in such a bad mental health place. And I have been for a little bit now that like and I know it's just part
38
of the
years.
process, but the whole time I'm sitting there like I can't get myself out of this. Alexis started the podcast with, "So, Darby, how are you?" And I was like, "Not good. I'm not good." Like I'm not good. Just like stopped
sounds
the energy
great.
immediately. I know.
And where can we
But
find this
I'm not
podcast?
good. I'm not good.
Like
Anywhere podcasts are sold.
Napster. It's on Napster.
Yeah.
You said.
It's hills and valleys, but I'm definitely I'm in a valley right now for sure.
What are you doing to get through?
I am gonna stay alive.
A lot of prayer.
A lot of prayer. I've been doing. Have you ever heard of marijuana gummies?
Yes. I almost did one
I've
right
been doing a
before
lot of
this, and I
those.
forgot because I was like, "Oh shit, I'm about to record. I should not be really high for that."
Oh, I'm rewarding myself as soon as we finish here. Well, I have to help Curtis with an audition, but then I'm going to the weed store and I'm getting myself. I'm really into weed sodas lately. I love a weed
Interesting.
soda.
I had one at your house.
Anyway.
It was great. Delightful.
Oh my God, the other night we went to, I don't know if I've ever brought you to this, but the Cinespia, they show movies in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
No, you haven't. We've talked about it. You've never brought me.
They did The Big Lebowski this week. And I have to say, number one,
Big Lebowski.
I had never seen it. And my idea of what it was not that. And I knew it was the Coen brothers. So I knew that it had that element, but it just, for whatever reason, I saw Bowling Alley and I thought of the movie Kingpin. And I was like, that's not for me.
No,
No, I
man.
know.
Like,
I know.
no, man.
Oh, you're doing Jeff Bridges. I loved that movie so much.
The Big Lebowski?
Yes. I thought it
Welcome
was
to the culture, my brother.
perfect
It's so
movie.
great.
It's phenomenal, and there are certain movies that are steeped in straightness that cannot be seen.
Yeah, man.
For the straightness has overwhelmed it. But The Big Lebowski is a non-threatening straight film, and I loved it.
Do you know why?
I
Because
loved
the center of the story
everything.
is a rug that just really ties the whole room together, man. And everyone can get behind
He
that.
was so good. And well, another thing I was telling Curtis was on the way back, I was like, well, Jeff Bridges and John Goodman, it's hard not to see them in certain roles. Jeff Bridges, I feel like, can get lost in roles a little more easily than John Goodman can. But in this movie, even though it was them, they were enveloped by those roles.
Who do you see when you see Jeff Bridges and John Goodman? Who do you see? Who's it hard to forget that they are not in this role? Like, what? Who do you see immediately?
I mean, sort of like a lighter version of a Nicolas Cage in that they're always playing themselves, sort of.
I got what you're saying. Okay.
Like John Goodman will
Keanu.
always look like John Goodman. When he's Fred Flintstone, he's John Goodman, you know?
Yeah.
But there's something about the way he played this character that I was so impressed. And Jeff Bridges,
it's so good.
it's so good.
It's
so
so
good. And John
funny.
Turturro, which like I did not know outside of Severance. So seeing him play that role, it was like watching.
You talking about the Jesus?
What's his name? What's his name on Severance?
The Jesus.
Oh no, I want to say Virgil, but I know that's wrong.
Yeah,
it's a V though, right?
It's Virgil, right?
Is it?
Right?
Irving. There's
Fuck!
a V in there.
All right,
so I'm seeing
let's go back,
Irving.
Yeah, Irving.
I'm seeing Irving playing the Jesus, and I'm truly seeing Irving do it. I had the best time. But anyway, all of that to say, sitting right behind us, I was so excited. Sitting right behind us in the cemetery was Stephanie Weir from Mad TV. Dot.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
It was just her and like 4 of her friends or whatever, just chatting, having a good time. You know, we're all picnicking in the cemetery. When I saw her, I saw her before I looked at anyone else's faces in the group because she has a
Sure.
very distinctive face. And I was like, oh, I think that's her. And then I immediately made everyone in my peripheral other Mad TV characters. I was like, oh my God, she's here with the entire cast of Mad TV. That's so cool. Turned to Curtis to say all of Mad TV is here. And then I stopped myself and I went, wait, you took a gummy before you left. Look back and just double check that all of Mad TV is in this cemetery. And I turned back. Nope, just Stephanie Weir. But still really
That's
exciting.
amazing. That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Drew, two things about your Big Lebowski realization. One is my favorite behind-the-scenes story from that movie is Jeff Bridges apparently takes photos on sets of every movie he's on the whole time.
Yeah.
You know the sequence where he's doing that like dream sequence with he's wearing the jumpsuit and it's the dancers and he goes under their legs
Yes.
and he's like
Yes.
so
and then he turns himself back around and I'm like, but there's like 3 more pussies. What are you doing?
So he said, oh, this would be a great like photo is while they're pulling me under, like I can whatever. And he said like he wasn't thinking how inappropriate that is. Like I'm just telling all these women like, oh, I just want to take upskirt photos of you or whatever. So he said that main choreographer or whatever, she was one of the dancers and she was like first in line. And so she went to hair and makeup and got merkins for everybody and stuffed all their underwear with a bunch of hair. So when they pulled him through and he was taking pictures, it was just all these huge like giant bushes sticking out, and it made him go,
which is a beautiful thing.
He went, oh yeah, this was a weird thing for me to ask them to do. Now I understand. Also, Drew,
although back then you could do that, you could ask that.
I'm really excited. Is it in? Are bushes back?
No, back then you could tell women on set, I'm going to take a picture of your vagina, and they would just have to smile.
They would have to do it. The Weinstein years.
Yeah.
Drew, I'm really glad that you finally saw The Big Lebowski. So no one in the comments ruin any of these for him, but Drew, you're gonna love Fargo. It's so good.
I've seen Fargo. I love Fargo.
Okay. No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No Country for Old Men is so good.
Seen it.
There's so many. No, you haven't. I like Burn After Reading. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Is so good.
Okay, I gotta be honest. People are super into Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, it's great.
I don't want to see it.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay. Can I tell you something that maybe will make you want to see it, which is our parents tried to go see it, and they left because they used the Lord's name in vain too much. Does that make you want to go see it?
It makes me want to come.
I think it's so funny to listen to you speak so highly and praise this movie that is universally loved and has been for
it's
years
just not
and years and years.
There's okay fine, Grant, let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know what, let's talk about that. Why didn't I as a gay guy feel safe watching that movie? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the reasons?
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't we talk about the reasons? The other thing that was really strange in that cemetery, they were announcing that next week they were showing a David Lynch movie in honor of him being dead because Hollywood Forever Cemetery is his resting place.
Oh, he's actually buried there. That's kind of cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the draw of Hollywood Forever is that it's filled with celebrities. Like, sure. But I don't know what it was, but hearing that David Lynch, and I don't know if this was like the decision was made after his death, or is this something that he had wanted, but thinking that David Lynch, this kind of outsider, like, I mean, I know he made very big Hollywood movies, but he was always kind of that alt thinker. I don't know. Like Marilyn Monroe, Judy Garland, Toto, yes. David Lynch is going to be in the Hollywood Forever Cemetery?
Outside of Twin Peaks, I don't know what David Lynch has done. I'm sorry to this man. I'm actually looking it up. What movies?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, his stuff is so particular, and it's his own voice. And so to have him be, I mean, go for it. It's a gorgeous cemetery, but I don't know. I found that so strange.
Do you want to be buried?
And seeing all the people, no.
Yeah, me either.
Throw me in loose. I truly believe that when we're dead, we're dead. So my thought about my body is I don't give a fuck If it can help people on the way out, do it. Great. Otherwise,
I
put me
hope
in the trash.
I hope they do bury you, and I'm gonna steal it. It's gonna be my little national
You're gonna
treasure.
steal my body or my
Yeah.
grave?
No,
Oh,
your
okay.
body. Yeah, I'm gonna
You know
rob
what?
your.
If they
I'm gonna
buried
rob your
you,
body.
I would just steal the dirt from your grave. That would be
And
my national
I'd be
treasure.
naked. I'd just be laying there naked,
But one thing
just like I
about that
was the other night.
cemetery is that a lot of the headstones, and they're all gorgeous, and it's huge palm trees throughout the entire thing. It's a really beautiful cemetery
You gotta be
to see a
buried.
movie in. But a lot of the, what do you call them? I almost said plot holes.
Yeah,
Uh,
plot holes.
concrete,
And then they finally get
concrete
filled.
name.
No,
Concrete
no one
name.
help him. No one help him. Football cream,
Wait,
fancy feast. Are you serious, Drew? Are you okay right now?
plot hole.
What are you trying to say? He got turned off.
Headstone.
Oh my
headstone.
God! You said plot holes for
Okay,
headstone.
cemetery plot, and they are holes. So
The
what are they called? Headstones. Headstone. A lot of them have pictures on them.
Yeah.
And I just find that so funny. Like,
I want to use
when
someone
I'm
else's
gone,
picture. I want O.J. Simpson's picture on my headstone.
that's so great.
And I want people to
that's
go,
so funny.
Was that him? Was that the guy?
I don't know. I mean, I was telling Curtis, in general, I think cemeteries are just a waste of space. And
Absolutely.
I hate
Turn
that
them
they
into golf
exist.
courses.
But
Something the
I'm
public
glad that
can
it gives
use.
people something that helps them through, much like religion helps people through death. The cemetery is also one of those things. So I'm happy it exists for those people to have that, but I don't get it. I have to admit, I don't get it.
Drew, I'm so glad that you transitioned us to our topic today with your cemetery
Trans
talk.
rights?
My question is, how much experience do you have with MLMs?
I mean, I'm a big fan of them and their work.
Because
I've
and
never
that's why
wanted to be my own boss, so I've never gotten involved. But
if anyone wants to join the IMHO MLM that they've got going, it is lucrative
what do we sell?
for Drew. Joy,
Thank you. That's correct.
creams,
We sell little
creams and
tiny action
salves,
figures of Derek Barry and Sherry Pie.
and a bunch of creams.
Mm-hmm.
Drew, we were going to talk about this last week, and then we got all chatty Cathy on it, and we kind of lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that is obviously your action figure
Angela
of
Lansbury.
Angela Salisbury steaks. Got it. But we were actually going to talk about it last week, and here's why, brother. They intersect with evangelicalism in a big way.
Yeah.
Big way. 1 in 7 U.S. households includes someone involved in an MLM. 1 in 7.
Not good.
How many apartments are in your apartment building, you think?
Like 25?
You have several MLM people in your apartment building right now.
I knew
That's
that.
so funny.
I can see the Arbonne boxes in the garage, so I knew for sure.
I was gonna ask, have you been approached by an MLM person in recent history? Has someone tried to pitch you an MLM?
I think because I got out of church so quick, I wasn't exposed to that. But I will say, this girl that I taught with, have you ever met those people who are extremely smart and good at what they do in their job, but their common sense is almost nothing?
Oh, yes. Yeah. They're beautiful
It's
idiots.
like they're beautiful idiots, but they're so smart. Like they are smart, but in a very specific place.
Yeah.
And only that place.
Right.
I taught with this girl who was, I think she's got her doctorate now, and she's like younger than us.
Did you have an earthquake?
But no, that I hit my table. But she's a brilliant teacher, and she's great. I always loved being around her, but she's a big dummy. She's a big dum-dum. And we did a Secret Santa. The special ed department did a Secret Santa. So she got me for Secret Santa, and the gift she gave me was a giant basket of Arbonne products.
oh, no.
And this was 2010.
Good year for Arbonne.
Great year for Arbonne. We weren't washing our face yet. That was definitely still when we were just like, yeah, we just have
Be
good
young
skin. I don't
forever,
know.
yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about the skincare, but she was like, oh my God, it's great. She talked up this business that her sister had started, and her sister owns a business now because of Arbonne. And the products are incredible. And like, let me know if you need anything, or let me know if like this interests you at all, because like, I'd love for you to chat with my sister about it. I didn't chat with her about it because I was a sex addict and I didn't have time for anything but wieners outside of school.
Of course. Wieners take a lot of time.
Some of them do, some of them don't.
Some of them
I
don't.
prefer when they don't.
You and me both.
But it wasn't until years later that I figured out, like, because I got to be honest, Grant, the products were bomb. Like,
They have
were
an
great.
annual revenue of $15 billion. 15
No, the
bill.
products are great, but it wasn't until later that I
Ugh,
found out it was
bill.
an MLM, because I didn't investigate further. I didn't ask for more, because I didn't use them that much. So, like, whatever. But it made sense to me that, of course, the girl who struggles with just daily common sense things is like, Arbonne's a great opportunity. This is how she talks to, by the way.
I can be my own boss.
Drew,
I can work when I need to.
this is a really good opportunity. My sister is an entrepreneur now, and she's making so much money for her family.
Who
Like
is
that.
that? Kevin from The Office.
It's everybody.
That's the female Kevin
Yes.
from The Office.
Yes, and she was.
It's good for my family. It'd be good for your family. That's
Maybe she's not
fantastic.
exactly Kevin.
Okay,
Kevin,
in 2010, by the way, Arbonne declared bankruptcy. 37 days later, they rebounded and
37
we're
days later.
back in business, no big deal. They made $353 million that year. The
Good
same
for
year they
them.
declared bankruptcy. Yeah, MLMs are no fucking joke. Drew, I was going to ask you, how many MLMs can you name? How many come to mind immediately?
Oh my God. Well,
Arbonne.
LuLaRoe, obviously.
LuLaRoe.
LuLaRoe because of the documentary, which I loved. Herbalife.
Okay. There's 1,000 currently operating in America right now. So you have 1,000 to pick from.
I gotta be honest, Grant. The only one that's coming to mind right now, because I know we're gonna talk about it, is Premier Designs.
Which doesn't operate anymore. That's a sad story. There are a bunch of them. Amway, Beachbody, Mary Kay, Scentsy,
Yeah.
Pampered Chef. And we are going to...
Scentsy was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it was an MLM.
Who was in it? Was your wife in it?
She wasn't in... Okay.
Her
you know
sister
what?
was.
Somebody was. Maybe
Somebody
she did
was.
join it to get their discounts. I don't know.
I
Scentsy
don't
was
know,
a big
Grant.
deal
We need
in
to
our
investigate. That's why I remember it, because like Mom used to buy a fuck ton of it, and I think she was buying it either from your wife or.
Oh, damn. Well, every now and then I do see people with RAV4s, like old RAV4s with their Scentsy names on their back window. I don't know why it's always an old RAV4, but it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is. But Drew, there are 1,000 MLMs working right now. So there's so many that are really obscure, but they're still doing their thing. By the way, I mean multi-level marketing. That's what we're talking about. MLMs are
Pyramid schemes.
the pyramid scheme. So yes, you're making profit by selling the product, but truly you're making the most amount of profit by signing people up underneath you. That's what we're talking about. And churches are ripe for the pickings when it comes to MLMs. And so I want to talk about my experience with them in the church and why I think that happens. But Drew, can we play a quick game real quick called Guess the MLM?
Yeah. Ooh, okay.
So I have made
What's
up
the theme song?
some MLMs. Oh, okay. Okay, hang on. I got it. Hang on. You'll be selling your MLM in summer, living the American dream, dancing in Hollywood.
What's the game called?
Because of the TikTok thing.
No, I know.
Remember?
What's the game called?
Remember that guy? Guess the
What's it
MLM.
called?
So Drew, here's what I've done.
Guess the MLM. That's the song.
That's talent.
Thanks.
So Drew, I have
Natural.
found some obscure MLMs, and I've also made up some MLMs.
Hell yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm going to give you their names. I'm going to give you their tagline and their category, like what they sell, what they do.
Okay.
You just tell me if it's real or fake. Is this a real
Real or
MLM?
not? Oh no.
Or just not?
Okay.
All right. And everyone listening, you can play along as well. Will you be smart or will you be Drew? That's what this game is called. All right, here we go. Number 1.
Will you be smart or are you a Drew?
This first one is called DazzleSnap. And the quote, the tagline is, Sparkle with purpose. The category is accessories, kids jewelry, and mom empowerment incentives. I guess it's for like moms to sell, but it's kids jewelry. DazzleSnap, sparkle with purpose.
Are they snap bracelets? Is that what they are?
That's all the information I have. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to provide you any because I did no more looking into any of these after I put them all
Okay,
together.
I'm gonna say it's real.
It is fake. I made that up.
Hilarious.
DazzleSnap, baby. Get on the DazzleSnap train. Choo choo. All aboard.
That sounds
DazzleSnap.
real.
Thank you.
That sounds real. Because
Sparkle
it's so
purpose.
dumb.
Isn't that funny?
DazzleSnap.
It
Wait,
could be
TM,
real.
TM. Copyright.
I was going to say, it could
Y'all,
be
we're
real.
We're starting our own MLM. It's called DazzleSnap.
Sparkle
okay?
with purpose.
It's jewelry for kids,
but
moms have
empowerment
incentives.
All right, the second one.
That was good. You'd be so good at conning people. Oh, wait, you were a preacher. Never mind. Go ahead.
Fuck, you're right. Color Street, real nail polish, no dry time, just strip and stick. Category beauty, of course, they make nail polish strips. Color Street,
nail polish
real nail polish, no dry time, just strip and stick.
I don't know. That one was boring, so I'm going to say real.
It is real. Color Street's a real thing. You can get
You
it.
shouldn't have led with Sparkle Snap or whatever.
DazzleSnap, Drew. Fucking DazzleSnap.
Sparkle Snap sounds better.
Well, if you want to start your own company, you can do that. But we're a DazzleSnap
Feuding
family.
MLMs. Let's see who gets shut down first.
We're a DazzleSnap family over here. All right, this one is called Javita. Drink it, feel it, share it. This is weight loss coffee and tea. Weight loss coffee and tea. Drink it, feel it, share it. Javita.
Spell it.
Javita. Javita.
You made it up.
It's real, baby. You can go get some Javita.
Let's do
any
the Trump's
day of
heights
the
again.
week.
Let's do the Trump family heights again. I'm really good at those. that is where I shine.
Okay, well, just tell me which Trump family member would probably buy Javita. Just do that. Who do you think is doing it?
It's for pooping coffee. What is it?
Yeah, weight loss coffee and tea. Coffee that makes you poop extra.
Well, none of them need to lose weight because they all are perfect specimens.
That's true. Never
So
mind.
I would say the Democrats probably are most likely to drink that.
All right, here we go. The fourth one. This company is called Myrrh and Moss. Ancient Oils, Modern Miracles. This is spiritual wellness, and it's Old Testament inspired oils. Myrrh and Moss. Ancient Oils, Modern Miracles.
Essential oils are really big in the MLM. But honestly, myrrh and moss sounds almost too clever to be real. I'm going to say you made it up.
Well done, Drew. DazzleSnap. This is DazzleSnap 2, baby.
Yeah,
Myrrh and Moss,
it was a little
baby.
too interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Grant, maybe you should do this. Maybe this is your next job, is helping people get MLMs off the ground.
Make MLMs? All right. I don't know if I know how to make them get off the ground, but I'll give you a funny little name. All right, here we go.
That's most of the heavy lifting.
This one's called PURE, which stands for People United Reaching Everyone. The tagline is Live Pure, Be Healthy, Make a Difference. Category is wellness. They make supplements and shakes. Pure.
I'm going to say it sucks. So that's for sure real. That's real.
It is
that
real.
Sucks.
It is real.
That's
People United Reaching Everyone.
Isn't that a pill that gay people take so they can have sex? Pure pill.
I'm sorry. What? What is
There's
that mean?
Pure for men. It's like a fiber capsule. It's a fiber capsule, but they market it for gay men. Fiber is oh God, how do I explain this? I just did an ad for Colin Broom. Okay, it's a non-absorbable type of fiber that gives your shit in your colon something to grab onto. So instead of having diarrhea poopies, you have solid, healthy poops.
Which you need
That's what happens
because
when
you
you
got to
take
keep
fiber.
everything clean down there. So
Stay ready.
You need to be dropping.
Is their tagline.
Clean.
You need
clean
to be
deuces.
dropping clean, because I don't know if you know this, Grant, but there are two different basically chambers in your bowel.
There's the poop chamber and there's a chamber of secrets, right?
The secret is, yes, there's a secret chamber where the poop sits. So I think me, before having anal sex often with strangers, I used to believe that there was just, my bowel is just my bowel. You know, like once it works its way through the digestive system, it goes through all the tubes. The
Right,
poop
all the
hits the
tubes.
bowel, and then I poop it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how Dad likes to put his finger in his butt when he's on the toilet?
It's like
Like,
little rocks in there.
I thought it was just one little rock tumbler. It's two, actually. And so when it comes and it sits down in your belly, that sitting section means that if you're not ready to go to the bathroom yet, like if your body's not saying you need to get this out now, it can be fully open. So like when you stick your finger up there, there's no poopy in there. It's in the other chamber. Does that make sense?
Is this real? Are you making shit up right
Yes.
now?
Okay, well, you didn't
Does
have to say the
my
shit part.
colon have two
It's your
chambers?
bowel.
Oh, the
The
human
chambers
colon
within
has
the
two main
digestive tract.
chambers.
Yeah.
The ascending colon
Yeah.
and the descending colon.
Ascending colon and descending colon. Yes. Wait, let me Google a picture.
What about that transverse colon? That's where I was
Yeah.
at on my pain. My
So do you see the little,
transverse
like,
colon.
well, no one else can see this.
Oh, yeah, they will. I'll put it up.
You know what? I don't know if I said this right. Maybe I'm completely wrong.
I don't know what side I'm putting it on.
I don't think I am. The poo-poo stays in the colon until it drops down into the place where it's coming out.
Rectum.
Right? Ew, our bodies are so gross.
I know. The
Tell
first
me,
time I
look
cut
at
one
look at
open-
the picture of the human body and tell me that there's a God. You can't. This shit is gross. God is gross.
Okay, Drew, my final MLM.
The sigmoid colon. Sorry, go ahead. What? Wait, are we talking about MLMs? Sorry.
We got real off with Pure. Here's my final one.
Stay ready.
Twink Lux. Smile brighter, shine harder. It's a beauty company that does tooth gems and LED whitening. Twink Lux.
Damn.
I know,
Okay.
I know. I just wanted to say it, Drew. I put a lot of work into it, and I just wanted to just say it out there for people. Smile brighter, shine harder. Twink Lux.
Wait, am I still guessing if it's real?
Yeah, it's fake. Thanks for playing, Drew. I think I
Okay.
got you once with
You got me a
DazzleSnap.
lot. You got me with DazzleSnap, and then the next two I thought were, I don't know. You got me a couple times. MLMs.
They were really big in my church, and the biggest ones that in my churches were Mary Kay was huge, LuLaRoe, Young Living essential oils, Advocare, which is like health supplements. That was a big one.
I like to buy supplements at church.
They also, all of them had Bible verses that went along with it. Like, here's
Sure.
why you should be doing these for Young Living, the essential oils. Obviously, I don't need to tell you, but it was like Ezekiel 47:12, obviously. You know that
Oh
one.
my God, of course.
Which, of
Yeah.
course, is their fruit will serve for food and their leaves for healing.
food, for leaves for
Thank
healing.
you. So the idea is like, well, this is a Christian company
Mm-hmm.
because God has given us these oils to heal us. And so this is
Right.
what we need. And LuLaRoe, of course, uses 1 Timothy 2, right, Drew?
Mm-hmm.
Which says, of course, I also
1
want the
Timothy 2.
women to dress
I also
modestly
want
with
those women.
decency
I want them
and
modest,
propriety.
baby. Cover them titties.
Exactly. But
Who's that
all
for?
of these...
Who's the Ezekiel one for? Who's it for?
Wait, the modesty?
Yeah, who's that for?
LuLaRoe. Modesty.
LuLaRoe? The legging company? The leggings
Yeah.
that were so thin you could see through them?
Yeah, that was like their thing. It was like a modesty thing.
Modesty?
Yeah, dude.
But you could see their pussies.
Well, I mean, if you did it right. What are you talking about, dude? LuLaRoe is incredibly popular in the modesty
leggings.
movement. Yeah, that's their
Ooh.
thing. Yeah, they're like
Does modesty mean ugly?
yeah, they're really big into modesty. That was
Ugly.
their thing.
How did it
They-
present at church? Like, did people set up booths?
Great fucking question.
Thank you so much.
They were constantly trying to. So when I was at the last church I was at in Memphis, where I mean I don't want to brag, but I basically ran that show. You know what I'm saying?
Holy shit.
Just
Think
ran.
about how
it.
many people you hurt. That's incredible.
But there were constantly people there who were trying to set up their MLMs in the lobby or whatever. And really what it was is like church networks and all these little like small group gatherings. One of the things we always had to do was like If it was a women's group, if they were doing a Bible study, or if it was like moms getting coffee before, like they wanted to use a room in the church for these moms to get together when they drop their kids off at daycare or whatever, we always had to look into it because 9 times out of 10, somebody there was trying to sell something. Somebody there was in an MLM and they were trying to get a group of people together because they were trying to get them signed up with it. And I think they thrive in the evangelical church for a lot of reasons. One is like it's traditional family gender roles, right? Like, hey, women, you need to stay home with those kids, but you got to bring money in. Great news. You can do that with
at church,
LuLaRoe or whatever. But like the church networks are built-in customer base. And my first exposure to MLMs, I mean, outside of our mother's Premier Designs, which we'll talk about in a minute, when I was in college, there was this guy who would do this Bible study in his home for college students. We thought he was like the coolest guy in the world. Because, you know, when you're in college and somebody with like, I mean, he was many, many years older, but he would have us over and he would feed us. And we'd hang out there, and he would, like, just talk to us about, you know, life, man.
And he had a TV on the wall.
He had a TV on the wall. And it was like an old, it's like tube TV, and it shouldn't have been on the wall, but...
No, I don't know why they hung it on the wall.
But he got it up there. He got it up there.
He did.
But you, like, we really, really looked up to him. By the end of that year, of all of us, like, we would go over there, like, every week. And by the end of us like hanging out with him for however long, he met with all of all of us individually.
Oh no, Grant, is this hard to talk about? Oh my god, Grant.
Yeah, you know when I get emotional, I
raw?
cough. And he tried to get us to join his MLM.
Which was what?
You know, I can't remember. It was like
vitamins.
No, it was like buy all of your groceries through them instead of like Walmart, and you get a discount. And then if you get your family members to buy their groceries through them too, then they get a discount.
Is that why he could feed you all the time? Because he had a bunch of food at home?
Probably.
Because he had to sell it?
But I remember, I just remember like how, I don't know, it just made me go like, oh, this relationship was just fake as fuck. But it was the church that gave him access to us. When Angela was recruited into Premier Designs by Dr. Rogers' daughter, she told Angela, we were in seminary at the time. I had just gotten my first full-time job as a pastor. And Angela said, you know, I'm not really a salesperson. Like, I don't know if I could sell. And here's what she told her. You're the pastor's wife. They'll buy whatever you tell them to buy.
It's true, though. That's the first honest thing she's ever said.
That's wild. But that's like, I mean, that's why they work, you've got this built-in network of people who are going to show up and they're going to be there. And they continue to work because spiritualizing it all makes you last longer in any broken system. Like, why did I stay in the church so long? Why did Angela stay in the church so long? Why are there people that you care about that you're like, you're smarter than that? Why are they still there? You spiritualize everything and you can stay in a broken system for a long time because you tell stories to yourself. And MLMs, people who are MLMs do the same thing. Because if you spiritualize your MLM, then there's a reason for everything, and you need to see it through. So, like, if you have modest success, any type of little just blip of success, you made $50 at this party that you spent 40 hours working on, but you made $50, well, that's God's favor. Like, I can clearly see that God is at work. But if you struggle, if you're not doing well, God's testing your faith, right? And then if you think about it,
we should start an MLM. This sounds easy.
Well, when you zoom out too, and you just think at like at a meta level, well, you know what? God called you to this, so you need to stick with it. Remember how clear you were that God wanted you to do this? Now you're gonna quit. Did Jesus quit when he was on the cross, Drew? I don't fucking think so. Did he climb down and say, "This is too hard"?
He did.
No, I mean he died.
He did eventually say, like,
well, he died,
I'm out.
but he didn't. I mean, he said,
but he didn't have to die,
Yeah, but
right?
he
I mean,
didn't.
if he's God,
okay, yeah,
so he did sort of tap out.
Okay, in a certain way, but I think like over spiritualizing it, you can stay in any broken system longer, and I think that's why MLMs work so well.
Well, because all of those little tricks and stuff, those are all done in church anyway. all
Right.
the controlling, the doubting yourself, the promise of something better if you just give a huge sacrifice now. And well, you're never going to get the prize if you're not dedicated. I mean, it's what the church says anyway. So now they're just putting vitamins in front of it. I mean, obviously it's a bummer. Sometimes I wonder, does our mom ever think about that? Like, does our mom ever consider that she was in a pyramid scheme for years and her best church friend was the one that was like making money off of her?
Still her
And
best friend.
still her best friend. So obviously she doesn't think about that. It's those things where I think about, if mom and I were to ever have a relationship again, I'd want to ask her about it because that was a huge part of our lives for years. But also, like,
Premier
God,
Designs,
would that just
baby.
completely unravel her entire world? Like, I mean, I'm
I don't
already asking her not to hate me for being gay. Now I have to convince her to realize that everything she did was a lie.
based on gay
Like,
jewelry. So Premier Designs was the first MLM in both of our
mm-hmm,
lives, which was the Christian jewelry company
mm-hmm.
that our
Oh,
mom
hang on
got
a second.
involved with. Our whole childhood is all. I just remember Premier Designs, and so Drew, I'm assuming, is going to get some jewelry right now. Here. Oh, and he's back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh,
Okay,
oh, he found his moo.
please stop that.
You remember
Premier
this?
Designs, baby.
Premiere. And
It's
then you had to write the
beautiful.
price and everything on your own on the back.
Uh-huh.
And there was always like a little tag with the Premier Designs logo on everything.
How would you
Why
rate
do
the
I have this
quality of that
with the
jewelry?
price tag on it?
Okay,
Because
sure.
I took this from our dead grandmother's house because she was also roped into it by trying to help mom. She had a ton of this shit with the price tag still on. So it's
Love it.
clearly just something she bought from the company because they told her she had to. Yeah, now I wear it as a joke.
Or she bought it from mom.
And was
Yeah,
like, okay, how much more money do you need this month? Great.
I
Give
love
me
it.
that ugly ass necklace.
She was a great grandmother.
I will
What's
say
the
that
quality of that
Premiere,
jewelry?
it is slightly higher quality than like the shitty costume jewelry that I wear. I will say it's a little nicer. It's something I would expect you would get from like a seller on Etsy who's making cheaper jewelry. It's not
Okay.
bad. It's not
Okay.
bad. It's not good. I don't know what the prices were in those times. Like, I don't remember,
And the
you
olden
know,
times
in the olden times. So I don't know how the price would
on
compare,
the
but
Oregon Trail.
it's not
Yeah.
bad. It's heavy.
That's what I look for in my jewelry. Is how heavy is it?
You kind of
Mom
do
was a
want
part
that.
of it forever, and
Ever.
my wife got roped into it by the same person.
Our mega church pastor's daughter
Mm-hmm.
was the president.
Yeah. So roped her
It
into it
is
as
righteous
well.
gemstones down
100%.
boots.
And the way that you sold, Drew, you could tell everyone, there's a very simple model that you had to follow if you were going to sell with Premier Design, which is
A Tupperware party. You
100%.
basically have a
Yeah.
jewelry version of a Tupperware party where mom would put fancy tablecloths over every
Velvet.
table in the house,
And then she'd
velvet,
covering
and
it.
she would
Yeah.
display all this jewelry that she had to buy first to then sell to other people. The house would be, every table would be covered in jewelry, usually just the breakfast room and the dining room, the fancy dining
Yeah.
room that we never used. It would just be women walking back and forth through the kitchen, grabbing a snack, looking at jewelry, and then one person buys something and it was a success.
So their compensation structure for Premier Designs, in case you're wondering, they would get 50% commission on everything they sold. However, most people would report after paying for the party costs, traveling, marketing, if you had someone host that wasn't in your own home, which is one of the reasons I'm sure mom hosted it in our home, you typically have to buy a hostess gift as well. And so most people would say that
And you have to pay for all of the catalogs. You can't hand out free catalogs. You have
yeah.
to buy the catalogs to then hand out at parties.
So most people said that these parties, a good party would make like $50. So
Yeah.
all of the relational capital you had to cash in and all the things you had to do, like these parties were a wash. But if
Yeah.
you could get one of your little friends to sign up underneath you, you would get 10% commission on them as well. and that would go 3 levels deep. But the
But keep in
startup
mind too,
costs,
you have to, well, not just the startup cost, but the continued cost. You have to
Mhm.
continue to buy a certain amount of product with, and I don't know exactly how Premiere did it, but whether it be every month or every season, because remember they would get new catalogs every season, it'd be new jewelry every
Yeah.
season. Like you have to buy a certain amount each time, and you
Well,
rarely sell it,
they had a renewal fee.
all of
They had
it.
an annual renewal
Yeah.
fee. Annually, they had to pay a few $100s just to stay up. Then they had to buy the new jewelry, and then they had to buy the new catalogs and whatever. I remember.
Hmm.
So we were in seminary. I was making every 2 weeks. I was an intern at this megachurch that made millions and millions of dollars. I was getting paid every 2 weeks. My paycheck was less than $400. I remember that. And
Nice.
Angela was
It's the
working at Ethan
depression.
Allen. She has a degree in interior design, and so she was working at Ethan Allen selling couches, which is why she went to school. She couldn't have been making more than minimum wage at the time. So we were making no fucking money. And the
But she could be her
megachurch,
own boss.
well, the megachurch pastor's daughter who got her roped into it, within a year of like first talking about it with her, we were $2,000 in debt.
And that woman made $200 of it.
It was
Predatory.
it was awesome. But yeah, it started back in 1985. Andy and Joan Horner, of course, in
Oh, I
Irving,
love
Texas.
them.
They peaked in 2005, their 20th anniversary. They had over 19,000 active jewelers, and their annual sales exceeded $200 million. But in 2020, Drew, they fell on hard times. They couldn't keep up with the online marketplace.
Oh,
So they actually
no.
rebranded. This was their new
Oh,
name. I'm going to spell it for you, and I need you to
okay.
pronounce it. Okay, you ready?
Sure.
DVTD.
DVDT?
Hang on, I'm writing it. Is it going to be backwards?
DVDT.
Pronounce it.
David Divited. Divited. Divited.
Devoted. Devoted.
What?
Fantastic. So they started this online Christian marketplace that sold every fucking thing you can think of, but they put like a Christian little but it's for Jesus. Do you need a new hose
Sure.
for your house? How about the living water hoses for Jesus? So they're called
Ooh, I want
Devoted.
one.
So
We do need a new hose.
they rebranded to Devoted in 2020. By the end of 2020, they were out of business and they closed. They were done.
Oh,
And that was the
no.
end of Premier Designs.
What the
It
fuck is
went
that
to
woman doing?
Devoted.
Our mom's friend. Oh, she
Anyway,
is now listed as she is a biblically based speaker and writer.
used her
She was a
Canva to help
Diamond
her.
Executive Director of Premier Designs from 1990 to 2020, then was a legacy leader of Devoted from 2020 to 2021,
No,
January of
I
2021.
was going to say it closed in 2020. There's no way, but okay.
And now she's women's ministry speaking and writer freelance for 34 years.
Oh, good
Sorry,
for
I hate
her.
that woman. I've told this
Good
story.
for her.
I don't know if I told it on here or IMHO, but about seeing her at Mama's funeral and how I just wish I'd torn into her instead of
Oh,
being
yeah, yeah,
nice
yeah.
to her. When she was like, "Thanks for coming to my dad's funeral," I should have been like, "I will fucking dance on your grave, you dumb bitch. You fucking bitch. You selfish
I watch
bitch."
movies in graveyards, but I'm going to dance in your graveyard.
I came to Mama's funeral not because I loved Mama. No, no. She knew that.
I came to
I
see
came to make
your
sure
face.
that you were still living. So I knew I still had something to live for. I'm going to watch you take your last breath, you bitch.
I love that.
Or something like that. I mean, obviously not, maybe not that far, but something fun.
The stereotype of gay men being very petty is actually helpful sometimes. It plays out.
She victimized our mother and she continues to.
Well, she
I
victimized
will
my wife
dance
as
on her
well, but
grave.
you know,
I will
it is what it is.
dance on her
But
grave.
that's a little bit of MLM talk.
That was
Little
great. Great. You did a great
evangelical
job putting that
MLM
together.
talk. Hey, thanks, man. That sounds really condescending, but I appreciate it. Do you have any more thoughts on that before we get to a voicemail?
No, but everyone go watch the Lulu Rowe documentary. It's really fun.
I don't know. You mentioned it earlier, and I was just being polite and like nodding along. I don't know what you're talking
Oh, it was
about.
a big moment. It was a big moment in time. This was like pandemic
Mm,
times, so
I'm looking
everyone
it up.
was watching TV again. I think it's on Amazon or Netflix. I can't remember. They have the founders of LuLaRoe are part of the documentary because they didn't know what it was going to be. Like, they didn't know it was like a
Oh
takedown.
fuck,
So they're in the entire thing. It is
Lula
quite
Rich.
fun. Yeah, it's really fun.
Oh fuck, it's on Prime Video. It's 4
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah. It's good.
God damn,
It's
I
good.
haven't seen it all. Oh my god, I'm watching this as
It's
soon as we
good.
get done here. So we did a lot of voicemails recently. Obviously, our Pope episode, big voicemail heavy or whatever. But the goal obviously is to do a voicemail every week, and we forgot for a little while. So shut up. But if you want to leave us a voicemail, 940 Ask Twin. Call us and leave a voicemail. We did get a voicemail this week in response to us talking about the power team. You know, those guys, those
Oh,
crazy
nice.
guys. So we're gonna listen to that real quick, and then we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out from there. So let me get to it.
Hey,
Can
Drew
you
and
hear it?
Grant, this is
Mhm.
Jake in Austin. Hope you guys are doing well. I was just listening to the episode where you guys were talking about the power team. I was obsessed
Yeah, brother.
with the power team. They used to come through our town
Yeah.
quite often, and I had like all of their merch. They even had a line of comic books, like in like a action hero style that I had. Definitely was
Yeah.
a sexual awakening for me, not going to lie. But then when I got older,
Yeah.
our church had this thing called Master's Commission. It's kind of like a discipleship program that people did instead of going to college usually or before Bible college or something like that. And our church, as part of their Master's Commission, they would actually do some of the strongman stunts. And I could tell you that it actually
Hot.
doesn't have to be someone all that strong to rip a phone book in half. There's a technique to it. I don't remember what it was, but I was a little jaded by the whole thing. Anyways, hope you all are doing well.
Don't
Talk to you
ruin
soon.
the
Okay.
don't
Okay.
ruin the fun.
Okay. Hang on a second. So Drew, I didn't listen to that beforehand. In all
Mhm.
honesty, here, I knew it had something to do with power team. I can read. I saw those words.
Mhm.
I think next episode I'm going to try to rip a phone book in half. Surely it's on
Oh
YouTube,
god.
right?
Wait, where are you going to find a phone book? Where do you get
Well,
one?
I have eBay, I guess. Oh my
Is that where you get
god.
them?
I don't know. I don't know where you get them now. Does someone have them all? Does Walton
You have to
Goggins have
buy
all
a
of them?
phone book. Isn't that insane?
I think
Well,
it does.
I have to say, what was it, Jake and Austin? Is that what he said?
Oh my god. I don't remember.
Why did you say, "Oh my god"?
Cuz I'm watching someone rip a phone book in half. I'm going to rip a phone book in half on the next episode. I'm going to do it.
Oh, great.
I
It
could
was
totally
also
do
a
it.
sexual awakening for me. I loved muscles. I didn't
Yeah.
understand them or
How
why people
was
had
that?
them.
Yeah, how was that
Hot.
for you, honestly? When you saw these muscle men
Hot.
for Jesus,
Exciting.
just
Exciting. Because they wouldn't take their shirts off, but they wore those tiny tank tops where it was basically cut down to nothing.
yeah.
So you got a lot of nip. Way too much nip for church, but I loved it. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
into it. They could do nothing wrong.
Thank you for your call. I'm gonna rip a phone
Yeah,
book in
thank you for
half. I'm
thank
writing
you
it
for
down.
causing Grant to have to purchase a phone book. I'm
How do
excited
I
for that,
find a
for
phone book?
sure.
Rip. I'm literally writing down rip phone book in half.
We
Oh
gotta
my.
get you a hobby.
I want to thank our patrons. Thank you, patrons, so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for supporting us in these difficult and dark times where it's hard to find a phone book anymore. And I also want to thank all the people who are already a huge part of DazzleSnap. We call you our Dazzlers, and if you're on the bottom level and you're
Dazzling
a
Diamond Team.
snapper, no problem. But
Dazzling Diamond Team.
if you're the Dazzle Diamond Team, we are so grateful that you are just helping us get the word out about sparkling with a purpose. Sparkle with purpose.
And listen, Snap Peas, you can be a dazzling diamond one day.
One day.
But starting as a Snap Pea is not a terrible place to start, okay? We all start there. And it is
Jesus
through
was a
God
baby.
and Jesus
Jesus was a
that
baby.
that we become dazzling diamonds. Like God is
Then he got
in the
pubes,
eyes of
and he became a man.
what do you call them? Christians.
So Drew, real quick announcement. So it is the end of May. This is the final week of May. Are you okay with that?
Sad.
You always get
really
really
sad.
sad at the end of months for some reason.
Just hate to see it go.
What is it? It's not this weekend, but the next weekend. We'll be in Chicago.
Yeah, IMHO Live at the Den Theater, June 8th.
Are there
Grant
any tickets
and
left?
Angela will be in attendance. Oh, you know what? I should look.
Why don't you
We
look it up?
added some this week
Some
to
more
make more.
additional.
Yeah, Grant. It's
They're
selling
on the stage?
like hotcakes.
That's hilarious.
Looks like there are like 10 left in kind of general seating. And then we opened a new section, like a mezzanine section, which is like bar stools, I think. Bar stools and like a little bar that you kind of sit on.
How do they
and it looks like
get the
there's
tickets?
like 20 of those.
If they're still available.
Oh, go to the link in our. Can you put it in the description of the episode?
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
But Grant and Angela will also be
giving
there.
that to me. Probably.
And I'm gonna make Grant do something. I'm not gonna make Angela do anything because she's already done enough. So we'll see you then.
I'm gonna sing that suburban song. Anyway, thank you everyone for being a part of our world, and we love you, Drew. Any parting words, parting wisdom?
You don't have to dazzle if you snap first. Wait.
Thank you.
If you want, hang on.
Thank you, everybody.
If you want to dazzle,
bye everybody.
please
Thanks
snap
so much.
first.
That was good. That was
Hang
worth
on.
it.
I'm
All right.
gonna
See you
snap
later.
into this diamond.
The music is playing.
Snap.
I can't hear you.
Dazzle it.
Into a Slim Jim.